Why are you nervous?
I haven't seen you in so long. You
I
make me
know.
nervous.
Well, the 52 minutes of being late is really lovely.
I was out shopping, being thoughtful, so it ran overtime.
You're going to talk this low?
I said it ran overtime.
Just in the first glance of seeing Lamar, I feel a little bit of, God, this is so familiar and so uncharted all at the same time. I don't know this person anymore. I don't know. It's just a mind. I don't know how else to explain it.
How's your mom, huh?
She's good. She doesn't know I'm seeing you. She would be here.
Yeah.
She would be here. Do you need a minute?
Oh.
What are you so nervous about? Everything's fine.
I don't know, Khloé. How long has it been since I seen you?
Take a breather.
How long has it been?
The last time I've seen you, I don't know, I was leaving for...
I have to say, after watching this documentary, she stood by your side. She saved your life. Do you feel that way?
In some ways, God saved my life. My Lord saved my life, honestly.
To put it in perspective, you talked about that night and that picture that we just saw in Vegas. You suffered 12 strokes, 6 heart attacks. You were in a coma for 3 days. In the documentary, it talks about the fact that Khloé stepped in, tried to keep everybody out so that you could just get better, and you know she stayed by your side
for 4 months.
For 4 months. After filing,
Lamar Odom knows that feeling better than most men alive. He has lived it, survived it, nearly died inside it, and now at a point in his life where honesty costs him less than silence ever did, he is finally talking about the thing that eats at him the most, not the drugs, not the collapse, not the night in Las Vegas that nearly ended everything, but a much quieter devastation. The way he walked into one of the most scrutinized marriages in television history, completely unprepared for what it would ask of him and completely unwilling, at the time, to admit it. Lamar Odom's biggest regret about marrying Khloé Kardashian is not that he married her. His biggest regret is that he never truly showed up for her. Not once, not in the way she deserved, and he knew it even while it was happening. He just did not know how to stop. The courtship, if you could call it that, was a whirlwind so fast it almost seemed scripted, though Lamar has since said that what he felt for Khloé in those early days was as real as anything he had ever experienced. They met in August 2009 at a party following the NBA Finals. By September they were engaged. By the end of that same month they were married. And America watched the whole thing unfold on television with a mixture of fascination and skepticism. People wondered if it was real. What they did not know, what Lamar himself perhaps did not fully reckon with until years later, was that the speed of it was not romance, it was escape. He was running from a version of himself he could not face, from grief he had never properly processed after the deaths of people close to him, from a basketball career that was both the source of his identity and the cage that contained it, and from an addiction that had already begun threading itself quietly through the fabric of his daily life. Khloé did not know the full extent of any of this. Lamar has been honest enough to say that he kept enormous parts of himself hidden from her, not out of malice but out of shame, and perhaps out of a desperate wish that marriage itself might be the thing that fixed him. It is a wish many people bring to relationships, and it is almost always a lie we tell ourselves. Marriage does not fix people. It illuminates them. Every crack, every scar, every place where a person is still hollow gets brought into sharper relief when someone else is living alongside you every day. Watching you, loving you, waiting for you to be present. Khloé was present. Lamar was not. He has said in interviews, with a frankness that is almost uncomfortable to witness, that he was physically in the marriage but emotionally somewhere else entirely, somewhere dark, somewhere he did not want to be but could not find his way out of. He was using drugs throughout much of the marriage. He was unfaithful. He was, by his own accounting, a man who had been given something extraordinary and treated it carelessly, not because he did not value it but because he did not yet value himself enough to believe he was capable of being the person that something extraordinary required. That distinction matters. There is a difference between a man who destroys a relationship because he is cruel and a man who destroys one because he is broken. Lamar Odom is the second kind, and what makes his story so difficult to look away from is that he is one of the few people in his position who seems to genuinely understand that distinction without using it as an excuse. He does not ask to be absolved. He does not frame his failures as the inevitable consequence of his circumstances. He says, with the quiet devastation of a man who has had years to sit with it, that he simply was not ready, and that the tragedy is that Khloé was. She was ready to build something real. She brought her whole self to that marriage. She fought for it publicly and privately in ways that most women would not have, in ways that exposed her to ridicule and pity from an audience of millions. And Lamar, the man she had chosen, the man she had defended, was somewhere else. He was gone even when he was standing right in front of her. The near-death experience in October 2015 changed everything, or at least it changed Lamar. He was found unconscious at a Nevada brothel, his body having endured what doctors described as a catastrophic series of strokes. He spent days in a coma. Khloé, despite the fact that their divorce had already been filed, rushed to his side and effectively put the legal proceedings on hold. She stayed with him through the worst of it. He has spoken about waking up to find her there, and you can hear something fracture in his voice when he talks about it because in that moment at his absolute lowest she was still there. And he had not deserved it. That is the weight he carries. Not just that the marriage failed, but that it failed on his watch through his choices, and that the woman who loved him most demonstrated that love most fully at the exact moment when he had given her the least reason to. The divorce was finalized in 2016. There was no dramatic ending. No explosive final confrontation. Just paperwork and silence and the particular sadness of two people who might have been something extraordinary becoming instead a cautionary tale about timing and readiness and the ways in which we can love someone and still be entirely wrong for them in a given moment. Lamar Odom has rebuilt himself in fragments since then. He got sober. He wrote a memoir. He has spoken honestly about his demons in ways that celebrity culture rarely permits, because it requires a person to stop managing their image and start telling the truth. His truth is not flattering. It is, however, human in the most unguarded sense of the word. He was a man who had everything, who was loved by someone remarkable, and who could not receive that love because he had not yet learned to stop punishing himself long enough to let anything good take root. The regret he carries about Khloé is not the regret of a man who wishes he had made different choices in a calculated sense. It is the regret of someone who looked back at a version of himself and did not recognize him, who wished he could have been, back then, even a fraction of the person he has worked so hard to become since. Some love stories end not with a villain but with a man who simply was not ready. And some of those men spend the rest of their lives knowing exactly what that cost.